wedding,
surprises,
and teeth. We're breaking it all for you right now on AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days. Coming up now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a lovely gaggle of gals to my far left.
Hi, Michael Mattis. Be boring, Michael Mattis.
Shade.
He's not boring. Hi everyone, it's Tammy Govea.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're joining us live, welcome. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin' Days on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter we are _Dishin' Days. The @ is implied. And make sure you go to iTunes and comment and give us 5 stars to let us know how much you're enjoying the show. And also don't forget to leave comments on this video to let us know what you like. I would say what you didn't like, but you're going to tell us that anyway.
We don't need to ask that.
And so we have a lot to talk about. This was a fantastic week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy
What did
crap.
you guys think of this week?
Wow. Just wow.
My brain is still spinning.
It was one of those weeks where I had to be very, sometimes I get distracted by my phone, or I couldn't take notes. Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I couldn't take notes until after the episode was over because there was so much going on and I wanted to be so focused and in it. Yeah. And it was so worth it. So good.
Y'all know I normally binge watch on a Saturday or Sunday. Mm-hmm. By Friday,
you couldn't wait.
I watched all the episodes.
Yep.
I could not wait for this wedding.
Yeah.
I have to say, group of writers, I was laughing out loud starting on Monday. I mean, there was so many moments.
What they did, it was such a great mixture of comedy and drama all intertwined in each other, and then the payoff at the end of the week with the wedding and the climax of everything and all the reveals. It was so satisfying.
It was so good. It was so good. All right, let's get right into it.
I know. We don't have time.
It's now time to start Dishin' Days.
Oh.
Tammy. Alrighty, so
slower, please. No.
I know.
Listen, let's jump right into this wedding. All right, first of all, there's a lot that happened leading up to the wedding, so we are really going to break it down bit by bit by bit.
Break it down now.
Now, first of all, the start of the wedding with the arrival of the Marlena doll, which is the actual.
I want that doll. I don't know where it is right now, but I want the doll.
No, it's the actual Marlena Evans doll that Mattel made. For Deidre Hall.
Back from the 1999 wedding, like they said.
Yes, so I love how they incorporated that, and I love how it was kind of like the start of this bad omen. I feel like that Marlena has been feeling.
Who sent it and why.
And they thought Hattie sent it.
Yeah. And then when John somehow got on the phone with Hattie right away, and I forgot Hattie's quote.
She was in the warden's office
at the time. She was in the warden's office. She's like, I didn't send that.
But John's
John's imitation of Hattie and how he was kind of making a joke about it. I thought it was
And Marlena
very,
was
very
giving him
funny.
the death stare. Why are you making fun of this?
Yeah, she was like... It was icky, but they made time for a little whoop-de-whoop, though, which was great.
But I loved it when John was doing the voice, oh my God, John, I love you so much, and I can't wait to marry you. Oh my God, it was cracking
And then
up.
when she sent him off to his hotel room for the night, he was like, well, at least I got the doll.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's disturbing.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly.
But he did have that shirt open.
It was funny.
There was an open shirt with John.
He still got a body on him, man. Oof.
Yeah.
I appreciate those moments.
Yeah.
And then... the beginning, Miss Susan Banks arrived.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I know, everyone else, I was sitting and just, monitoring Stacey and being like, girl, okay, let's see how you gonna do Miss Susan. But I will say, she had the kookiness of Susan.
Her whole body, what's the word, physicalized it?
Yeah.
From head to toe.
She did.
Yeah.
Mannerisms and how she's kind of, hunched over and very subdued. But still crazy. Kooky is a good word.
I think, though, the classic line of Main Kristen. I think we could hear that it was coming, and I think that's when we all went to see if she was gonna get it. What did you guys think? Because I think that was the selling point.
You know, Stacey had an almost impossible mission to take over these two unique characters, especially Susan.
Yeah.
And I think she nailed it. I think, you know, if we couldn't, like I said last week, if we couldn't get Eileen Davidson, Stacey was the one to get. And I'm curious if they actually held auditions or if they went directly to Stacey and were like, we want you to take over this. But I think in terms of both Susan, we're talking about Susan right now. I think she, you know, she did. I think she nailed it.
I think in terms of Susan, I was able to go along for the ride.
Yes,
I will say that.
I will be honest.
Say that.
I will be honest and say she lost me a little bit with main Kristen, because it's like she has to take her voice up to main Kristen.
Kristen.
That like that's how I don't know. That's how like Eileen always said it was always
you should have offered your consultation services.
Yeah, it was always
to nail that pitch.
That main Kristen, and they're all vampires. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think for the most part, I think she did a great job, like coming into this character and like adding her quirks and kookiness that we all know of Susan. And really, honestly, at first glance, you forgot that it wasn't Eileen, because
visually she looked so similar.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, she wasn't brought in to play Eileen. She was brought in to play the characters. So I think character-wise, she
was brought in to play Eileen playing the character.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Kidding. That's just jokes, people. All of a sudden, I feel the. Thank you.
There you go.
I feel Twitter just a buzzing.
And I have to say, I think my she had me. It's like, okay, I can go along for the ride with Susan. When so she it's a scene with her and Will. And Paul, I think, was the first, like, oh.
Yeah.
And she's so happy, and she's hugging him. Do you remember what happened? She's hugging him, and he's like,
oh yeah, she
he's like Susan, you're strong. You're strong. Oh my God, that was great. That was a great moment.
It was the story, as she was kind of telling everyone, was that she came back to Salem to like make amends and say that she's sorry for like what she had done. And she literally just kind of dived into everything. And like, you know, from Will gave her the information about where Marlena's bachelorette party was.
And even Claire was like, thanks, Will.
Yeah. She shows up at the bachelorette party. All right, and speaking of, let's talk about these bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Well, Jennifer was in charge.
That was me snoring.
Well, Claire was the one that was setting up Marlena's bachelorette party with all the like the painting stuff and like making sure everything was set, and Brady and Eric were helping.
Was the painting Claire's idea? Because Jennifer was saying it's her favorite flower, and that's why we're doing this, and so I wasn't sure.
I just don't know.
But
I'm Eve. Like I'd be Eve. Like, I'm here for the wine. Don't even like
with your own bottle in the corner.
They didn't even give her like an easel to paint with. They're like, she ain't doing this.
Eve was like, I don't even need like an easel. Like, I'm good with this bottle, and like that's okay.
I love how Brady said, "Look, I know you don't want to be here, so let's get out of here." No.
That table with Valerie, Kayla, and Eve, I was like, that's the table I want to be at.
Yeah. And then John and the boys had a bachelor party at the pub, which resulted...
With darts, and that was,
resulted in a little...
Balls flying.
Yeah. In a little shiner. Given to John there from Paul.
He looked so cute.
But it was...
Cute.
Who, Paul?
No, John. With the shiner. Even with the shiner.
Oh boy! But like the way that thing happened, it was like, and I was like, my God! That felt like it hurt.
Yeah.
But even with the setup, you're like, oh my God, something's about to happen. Like y'all should have just kept it cute and like tossed the ball. You know, we didn't need to do 100,000 mile
fastball.
Well, it would have been fine, but he was distracted and.
Yeah. Oh, right at the hey, John!
Boom!
Like.
I know. I know.
All right.
But yes, Valerie to the rescue. She covered that up with her Maybelline or whatever she has, and
Her plastic
Mary
surgery
Kay,
days.
her-
Yeah. She comes in with the makeup.
I love that Scott Holston is like, why Abe yelling John's name though?
Hey, John! Because that's the way it was written in the script.
Right.
I mean, when it comes down to it, why did they say that? Because it was in the script.
It was in the script, and they made it work.
And I love the surprise of Belle showing up for the bachelor party.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Sean coming.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Found out that their daughter was living with Ben and not very happy about
Oh,
it.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
Listen, sometimes I want to walk through that apartment and be like Elsa and just be like, let it go.
No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Ben, stay in here, let it go.
And people were asking why wasn't Carrie there.
Oh, because Christy Clark couldn't come.
Exactly. She was traveling.
tweeted.
She said they did reach out to me and invite me along for the storyline, but I was traveling the world with my family.
She
so
was.
just to be clear.
But I like that they had it as like, oh, their son Noah got sick.
Got sick, yeah.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So.
Had to explain it. So that's
Well,
good.
but at least they explained it though.
So then we got Marlena's wedding nightmare.
Yeah, so did you buy that? Like, did you get sucked in for a moment that this was actually the wedding?
No,
With no
I was.
audience members?
Well,
That's one of the
That was
tip
a
offs.
giveaway.
I knew something like kooky was like happening.
And the way they were acting too was
Yeah.
very like cartoony.
But I was just kind of like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
It was cute.
gonna
It was
go along
funny,
the
yeah.
ride. And it was funny because I thought when we watched the promo last week
Yes.
with the guy in the rap
Mummy,
band, I
yes.
thought that was gonna be Leo.
Yes.
But then it turns out that
It
was,
was
part
just
of
a
the dream.
Yeah.
And
I was
then-
kind of disappointed because that would have been a good, like,
that would have been. But then I loved it was just like taking us back to like
Every other John and Marlena wedding,
Yeah.
basically.
And it's like, he's not John Black.
Yes.
I'm
He's
the real John
I'm the
Black.
real John Black. He's Roman Brady. And then all that happened, and then all of a sudden Marlena's like, get up. I'm Hattie Adams, and I'm running away with Mr. Roman Brady.
My piece of top sirloin, or
I
whatever
was
she
like-
called it.
This is the kookiest nightmare ever.
It was
ever.
very entertaining.
cute.
It was very
And then John
entertaining.
again went off with the Marlena doll.
Yeah. I like that. All right, let's get to this wedding.
Oh,
go
and,
ahead.
and Abe's line in the dream where he's like, does anyone have anything to say that these two should not be married?
He's like, really?
Is there a motorcycle?
Oh,
Is
yes.
what was the other one? Is there a motorcycle? What was the other one that interrupted the wedding?
There were a few. I had them
videotape.
written down.
Yes,
Oh,
is
a
there
videotape.
Yes.
And then they showed Brady.
I was
and I was
howling.
like,
All the things that like you
Yeah.
know
That's happened.
that has happened with the
Yes.
wedding
and that we
everything.
expect.
No.
Yeah. So that was fun. All right, but let's get to this wedding. But before we do, look at her.
missed you.
She's here, girl.
The star is here.
She's here.
The thespian has arrived.
lesbians.
These on.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally.
It's Mr. Mark
Britney
J.
Spears has arrived.
You're just in time.
Okay.
Welcome to the wedding.
I forgot I have 3 at home. I could have.
See, you should've-
My bad.
You should've
But
brought
after I
yours.
saw the exchange, I was like, oh, I have. Well, they're using one for the one you saw in side by side by side.
That was your, of course.
course.
It would belong to Lorraine.
It would. I meant to bring. I have one. I meant to bring it. but-
So we just talked about all the pre-stuff. Now we're just at the wedding, girl.
Okay, great.
We're at the wedding, girl.
Yes.
We're at the wedding. Okay, so this wedding.
I guess I can get my laptop.
This wedding was giving me everything.
Oh, yeah.
That I
Which
needed
one?
and more.
The dream sequence or the real one?
We finished the dream
We finished
sequence.
the dream
Oh,
sequence.
okay.
That
Yes.
one gave me everything too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, talk about like walking down memory lane and being like, remember all
Yeah.
the stuff that's happened to them? But the real wedding was, I mean, it was starting off great and beautiful, and
The vows
and,
were so gorgeous.
yeah.
I was crying.
and Will. And we'll get into Will a little bit more,
Yeah.
but Will's speech, and then you know, of course, he started going through some things, and then Paul came up and gave his speech, and everything started to be so beautiful,
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere, no,
Miss
you can't.
Samantha Jean.
And my thought was, girl, she looked a mess.
She was horrible.
I was like,
she was a mess.
I was like, what Little Red Riding Hood storyline is she going through where she is coming through the river bend and through the forest and
over the
hill
and
and through the woods
to Salem place
oh my
she
God,
goes.
she was a hot mess.
I was like, oh my goodness. And when she dropped in, from this point on, Marlena seemed so unbothered.
She wasn't,
Like, she wasn't upset.
No.
She was just kind of like, I felt like in her mind, she was like,
which really surprised me.
What is this?
Like, this is your
What is
daughter.
this?
Why aren't you a little bit more emotional?
She eventually got a little agitated at Sammy because she eventually thought that Sammy was pulling the same old BS, like, you can't marry John, blah blah blah. But then we learned that that's not the case. Like, and then they showed Sammy's point of view, and it was kind of blurred, like
she's all drugged up,
and they thought she was drunk.
Yeah, well, no.
Scott says Will's speech was too long.
Well, it was too long because he was going through some memories and stuff.
The end of his amnesia.
So then, like, Sammy starts kind of saying, you know, not making any sense, and like, she's back and she's trying to kill you, and it was like, who is she talking about? And then
she goes around it.
And what I found hilarious was that you're looking for Kristen or you're looking for Susan. You couldn't tell that big straw hat and that bright.
Exactly.
You're reading my mind.
Like, zoom, here she is.
She had to go million through the audience.
Because she was not drunk. Susan was hiding. And she was
hiding like this.
Hat on. She can't hide with that hat.
But Sammy was drugged, so I give her that. She was drugged, so she wasn't in her. So
she was
just
disoriented.
Like, Exactly. That's the word I'm looking for.
Fine,
she was
disoriented.
But she was running through them aisles, like looking at everybody's face. You know. She was like.
And then she looked at Susan and like walked away, and then was like, "Oh wait, it's you."
And she was clutching her purse. Susan was clutching her purse.
Yeah, and when that happened, the whole reveal of like, no, I'm Susan, and then like the dress came and the wig, and it was like.
At what point did you guys know that it was Kristen?
I didn't know until they started fighting.
It was spoiled for me on Twitter, so I knew like before I watched it. But
I mean, I had an idea when she came into Marlena's apartment. I started going, why do I have a feeling this is Kristen dressed as Susan?
That was another conversation we had.
But see, we talked about this before the show. Kristen made a comment that it was actually Susan, and so I was trying to figure out if there was a moment during the week where Kristen could have come and like taken Susan and taken over for her. And I think the moment
I know that threw me too, because she did say something.
She said that.
Like,
So
I'm thinking
she was like,
that
was Susan.
Because
that confused me.
So the point there was when Susan I think it was Susan up until she was at Doug's place, like, you know, arranging the centerpieces because then we saw it came back to Doug's place, and all we saw was the hourglass
doll,
tipped over and the doll with a knife through it. And
we never saw Susan
our assumption was that Susan did it, but it could have been Kristen taken over as Susan at that point.
Right.
But I don't know if that was properly explained to us.
I'm guessing that'll come out this week.
Yeah,
most likely. But we know that it started off really as Susan, and then somewhere in the muddle, things got changed. And I almost wonder if things got changed when the scene came back, and she was like, "Oh, someone left the doll here by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, who would ever do such a thing?" And like,
I worked
and then
so
the
hard on this doll.
Yeah, and I feel like if that's the moment when she got taken away,
Kristen came in.
When Kristen came in and took over.
Should we show our clip?
Yes.
Should we remind the viewers of the insanity?
So let's watch the reveal, and then we're gonna take you back to the 90s for the original reveal.
No, Mom, you can't believe her. She's crazy. You're the one who's crazy. You are. You
love the
sicked
music.
a serial killer on your own son. No one's gonna believe a word out of your lying mouth. Show them your
Yes. She gets hit twice. There you go.
Jennifer's look is awesome. Oh,
the sound effect.
So gross.
The parting of the two. The parting of John and
they're
Steve.
like,
Kristen, Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Kristen DiMeras is back.
So good.
And she's still in that same red dress that we last saw her in.
So she hasn't changed in 6 months?
Right, exactly. She's probably stinky.
Limited wardrobe.
Right, very limited. And
so
now...
This is not the first time we've had flying teeth at a wedding.
Exactly. Let's look at the
Take you
original
back to
reveal.
1997.
Oh.
This was amazing.
I love this
was
so
great.
much.
Slow-mo and everything.
Oh. Vivian.
Do you think she still drank it after that? We have fake Jennifer
Love
in
his
there
outfit.
too. So good.
So good. Oh, the memories.
So do we like the fact that they repeated the teeth?
Oh, I thought that was. Yeah.
I do.
I didn't really remember that.
An
So
homage.
no.
I didn't either.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, they're doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
Except this time it was flipped.
I mean,
Yeah,
it could
it
be
wasn't-
because
it
I don't
wasn't-
really pay attention.
It wasn't Susan being revealed as
Main.
See, I thought there should have been more means with the new Kristen.
Susan.
Susan,
But
sorry.
maybe there will be next. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I thought, okay, part of me like, oh, I love that they did it, and another part of me is like, Ron Carlivati just ripped off James E. Riley. Like that was James E. Riley's original thing.
But Ron is...
I know he's paying homage to history. I
There's
totally
so
get
many
it.
moments
Ron is
paying
always about
homage.
history, so I felt like because he was already down that road with like, you know, the nightmare of like revealing like, oh no, it's Roman and it's John and like all the nostalgic things about the wedding. I think to do the reveal in this way was such a nod to, you know, the same thing that happened with these two characters, except now instead of revealing that it was Susan, we're now revealing that it's Kristen.
Right.
So now, before we get into the rest of this, we have the official introduction of Stacy as Kristen
I loved her.
and Susan. You love her.
I loved it.
Okay. Mark.
I mean, I haven't seen that much. I don't care for her as of right now.
Okay.
Either. I was more willing to accept the Susan,
Yeah.
but then when the Kristen came out, I was like, yeah, no, not
Yeah.
happy. But we'll
Tammy?
see. I mean, she could change my mind.
Yeah.
Stacy is clearly amazing and talented and beautiful, but it was so anticlimactic for me because to me, Kristen is like Erica Kane kind of character. It's like trying to put someone into Susan Lucci's shoes or Jeannie Francis's shoes. Like you just can't do it. And I would have preferred that the writers had come up with a different storyline and we had this discussion and revealed Kristen and the whole EJ storyline later when Eileen was
When they
available.
could have gotten Eileen back.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Here's my thought, because you guys know I'm normally a fan with open arms, but last week I was like, Here's how I felt. I felt that this is not a nod to Stacy's talent. I just think we're so used to Eileen Davidson, and there's something about Eileen that, to the character of Kristen, that it's this classy, powerful, like bitch. And when
Psychotic.
when she walks into a room, you know stuff is about to go down.
She owns that room.
Yeah, and so when this reveal happened and as everything was going on, I was like, I'm trying to stay with it, and I'm happy that they brought the character back, but there's something about, like, I don't feel like she captivated that room like Eileen Davidson as Kristen would have. The character of Kristen, yes, like, had everyone in shock, but I think there's this air of this, like, oh, it's Kristen moment, you know, and I feel like if Eileen was there, it would have been, like, a little differently.
I would have been scared.
But I also
wasn't scared.
I also think that if we had a chance to get used to Stacy as Kristen, Like if there was a way to introduce her as Kristen before the wedding, like if we just had little tidbits and stuff,
Maybe.
that when this happened, we would have been a little more settled into her as Kristen. I think to bring her into such a huge climactic moment, I don't think we had enough time to fully embrace and accept, like, okay, she's Kristen. Like when Marcy took over Abigail, we saw Abigail leave, and so now this is her coming back. So of course she was going to be different, and so there was like this slow like entry into like
they didn't just throw
Marcy
her
as
in.
Abigail, and I felt like it was like boom, we have to accept her this quickly. You know what I mean? Sorry, I took a lot of time on that, but that's how I
Just don't do it again.
But from that point on, I was just like, who has the tea kettle? Because tea is being spilled everywhere.
And I was surprised when she tossed Sammy the gun.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but I was losing interest.
Well,
I wasn't along for the ride. But when she tossed the gun, I thought, okay, well, this is an interesting twist.
yeah, but she had so many like interactions. Like she had the shade she was throwing to like
Eric
and when she looked at Jennifer and said, "How about that birthmark, Jen?" And I was like, "Ooh, that is shade." But she was able. It was like they were able to quickly reintroduce Kristen and all the history that she had with Eric, with Brady. I love the moment with her and Brady and Brady kind of being able to still kind of break her down a little bit,
saying, "I know you better than anyone in this room,
and I know that you don't want to pull this trigger." Yeah, it was that was a great moment. Her little nod to Eve, and Marlena again the whole time standing there unbothered. She was just kind of looking at her like, "This bitch, like what, like what?"
Well, it's her 15th wedding, so
it's fine.
She's used to the interruptions.
This is true, but
I would have liked a more reaction out of Jennifer. I always like it when they give Melissa Reeves like good like material, and I think that would have been a moment when she made that comment about Eric to. I think everyone. It wasn't Jennifer's moment. So
I think everyone was just shocked and stunned, and like just let her have the moment. You know what I mean? And then when she revealed to Sammy that EJ is still alive, which we all kind of knew already, because the last time we saw Kristen, there was a hint that EJ was still alive. Yeah, and we also remember her sticking EJ in with the thing. Yes. So like, but now it's like,
confirmed.
EJ's alive.
But
if you want to know where you're gonna have to shoot. Then she switched. She didn't want Marlena to get shot. She's like, oh, it won't be fulfilling to her to see Marlena die. It'll be fulfilling to watch John die. So now Sammy has to.
And Sammy was like, John and I weren't that out.
We worked that years ago. We're fine.
But I will be honest, if they're going to recast EJ, I will lose my mind.
I mean,
I will lose my mind.
That's a part of this. Part of soap operas. You have to like, these two over here.
You think they're going to recast EJ?
I mean, they have to be careful with it. If they're going to recast, they have to get.
Listen, if they don't mind recasting Eileen Davidson, then.
I know, that's what scares me.
I mean, there definitely have been recasts though that have worked out.
Oh yeah.
So you never know.
Like Lauren Koslow wasn't the original Kate, and you can't picture anyone else as Kate now.
Yeah,
this is true.
Marcy kind of.
She's not.
I think Marcy did the same thing. I think they took their time with Marcy though, and I think they made a point to choose a good person instead of just choosing anybody that kind of looked like Kate or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think they have a tendency to do. So hopefully they won't do the same thing.
So it ended with Eric trying to grab the gun and the gun going off.
Oh my God.
Eric, why do you have to be all that?
Somebody got hit.
I know.
We'll see who it is.
Yeah. All right. So we are starting to run out of time. So now we're gonna
already.
We're gonna zip through this. Will, Sonny, and Paul. Basically, Will has got his memory back.
It's all coming back.
Like it's all coming back.
As Celine would say. It's all coming back. Can we cue that song?
It's all coming back to me now. There were moments. I mean, that is.
Who gave her a veil? Who gave her a veil?
That's a whole other show.
But I like that Will is getting his memory back. However, oh no, Paul.
Did you notice the way after Will had started having the memory flashes and he was running off, the way he reacted to Paul?
Yeah.
It was like almost like what's the word? like he was annoyed with Paul. Like his feelings towards Paul had changed in that moment. He was like, I just have to go. You have to do a reading, and like he was like, get away from me.
I think it was just. I think everything was.
I think he was just
so
upset,
fast.
snappy. But I don't think his feelings changed for Paul. I just think he was freaking out. And needed to be alone.
I did start. I teared up when he was having like the wedding flashes, and he was with Sunny at Doug's place, and they were both like tearing, and I was like, oh my god, this is getting to me.
And kudos to Days for having to refilm that wedding for the flashback, and now that they had Sammy, they were able to add Sammy back.
Okay,
I was like, good for y'all.
They went through the trouble of reshooting the wedding, but they're still using that photoshopped picture, the wedding picture. They couldn't, like, they're still using like the wedding picture, but they photoshopped Chandler Massey's head onto Guy Wilson's body. Like they were still using that picture. But but yes, they recreated the wedding and the whole thing, and it was lovely.
Quite honestly, I could have done without. They could have saved Will and Sonny and Paul for next week because I was so involved in that wedding that every time it cut to them, I was like,
another thing. I was thinking, why did they make that choice?
You know what?
Because it broke it up.
Well, I'm glad that they only did it with one. They only broke it up with one other storyline, and we didn't have like all the others. Because I remember back in the day.
Well, everybody else was at the wedding.
Well, back in the day. They would do whenever a storyline would hit a big moment, they would only have like one other storyline showing in an episode. So it was only like two stories, and that's what they did like Thursday and Friday. It was the wedding and then Will and Sonny, which I don't know. I thought it was fine. I didn't.
I mean,
wasn't
they tied
bothered.
it in, but I could have done without it.
Yeah.
No, I thought it
and
was
just devoted, another episode more to Will and Sonny.
Yeah.
As opposed to breaking it up, breaking the wedding up.
I don't like it when they do like a dedicated episode. I'd like the same storyline the entire episode, or the same the character-based storyline. I don't like those. I get bored with them. So, I don't know. Just my opinion. Anyway, on to some business.
We're gonna do business now. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do business now, folks. Taking a break from all the wedding drama. Want to share with you that here at AfterBuzz Network, we produce after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. We've got dramas, reality shows, sci-fi, and a whole lot more. There's no network that works harder to serve the television fans. But now we do need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Subscribing to our YouTube channels will also help you discover new shows we're sure you're going to love. Since you've already tuned into the drama channel, which is Dishin' Days is on, you might be interested in Queen of the South, Black Mirror, The Affair, and The Bold Type. And remember, we have channels for other genres too, so please don't be shy about subscribing to them either. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. It's easy. Hit that subscribe button now for an even easier AfterBuzz experience, and if you let us know you did, in the comments, we'll thank you on the air. Thanks for being the best fans. We promise to continue to do our best to serve you. Yes.
All right.
Do our best.
Tidbits. Let's go through those quickly. To be honest, the whole Sierra Ben Hope thing and everyone being upset. And
are you over it?
I'm a little over it. I understand that everyone has these hard feelings towards Ben, but it's I get Belle and Sean, they're new, everything like that.
Brand new to them. Yeah.
Hope, girl, sit down, please, and then have the nerve to say the case is reopened.
I kind of like that. I don't know.
Too.
I don't.
I did too.
I was like, ooh.
And I only liked it because I love seeing Sierra stand up to her mother like that.
Oh, Sierra.
It was fierce.
Sierra was you are a monster. I feel like Mark wrote this speech.
You are a monster.
Mark wrote this speech. But it's an interesting dynamic because it's they were very close and they really only have each other. And now this is what's drifting them apart.
And the fact that Sierra said, I will cut you out of my life forever, that was harsh.
I mean,
oh my God.
Really what Sierra is saying is, Mom, stop. Stop this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she won't stop. She keeps trying to find something on him. Marlena has said he's fine. Sierra says, no, he didn't try to hurt me.
I know, but all
no
she can see is her daughter strangled with a tie.
She didn't strangle with a tie.
I know she didn't, but that's what Hope is seeing. That your
that's
daughter
her fear.
dead.
That's why the
her
fear is there. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Mama,
it's somewhat irrational, but
it is.
But at the same time,
she's protecting her kid, so she's
True.
being irrational.
Who was this? Who just said that? Give me 1 second here to scroll. How do I scroll?
Oh my God! You just
easier said than done. How do I? Oh, here.
Sidebar.
Find it.
Laura says, which is a good point, that they're all for forgiving Abby, even though she had a mental issue and that's why she killed, but they're not willing to forgive Ben. So thank you, Laura, for that statement.
Double standard.
All right, so I'm just going to whiz through 2 through 4.
Yeah.
Kayla and Steve. Steve wants to help Kayla. Kayla was just
I don't even care.
After the wedding, she's going to tell Steve everything.
Now it's not going to happen.
That ticked me off more than anything.
That during the
when
wedding,
she walked up
down the aisle and said
hey,
that?
you know what? So after, I'm like, really? Really? Right now?
This is not the
I
time.
didn't even, and I didn't like the Will and Paul interaction, even though it was like quick. I was like, no, like really? Are we all doing this right now? Like I was really annoyed with that, but whatever.
Kate took care of Ted.
She did.
We don't know.
Did she bang?
I don't know what she did.
Well, I mean, she banged him, but did she bang him? I don't know.
But she bang.
I don't think she.
What happened?
I think Ted backed off. I think that's going to be like. I think we're not going to get the payoff of Kate shooting him. Like,
interesting.
I think that
because she was boozing it up.
I think he. What's the word? Gave up.
Yeah,
there we go. He gave up.
She tried to do an SAT word, y'all. It didn't quite work out. Kate basically had to show Ted who was boss.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah.
All right, Bonnie and Adrian.
They're there.
I love Bonnie.
I mean,
Bonnie trying, like, dude, you're my sister. You look like my
that's
sister.
disgusting.
And then she was like, well, a girl could try.
Yeah.
I was like, atta girl. If you a hoe, you be a hoe to the end.
It was interesting because when Adrian said there's no way, I'm going to let you rot in jail, and she left, and it looks like Bonnie's got something up her sleeve because she didn't look defeated.
Well, yeah, she called somebody. She called somebody, and we don't know who was on the other end.
What is that about?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Boom.
It's interesting. All
Bada
right.
bing, bada boom.
And that was the week.
That was the week, mainly of the wedding, but we are going to zip through our segments because they're trying to run us out of here, y'all. So let's start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so, y'all, my 3 Snaps Award goes to everything that I noticed during Kristen's reveal. First of all, snap for Kristen for being revealed during the wedding. Snap to Brady for the look that he gave of like, oh my God, Sammy, like, what are you doing, girl? Snap to Valerie, who, like, never left the bottom of the floor of Horton Town Square. Everyone else was sitting calmly in the chair, but where was Valerie? Ducked down because she was like, listen, things are about to pop off, and I'm not trying to pop off with it. The reveal that EJ is alive, like, this whole moment, I was just... the whole entire time.
50 snaps.
The wedding and the Kristen reveal gets Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right, and now for the longest time, we haven't had this, it's now time for... Mark's Quote of the Week!
Finally! He's here to give one.
Yes.
So there were many and multiple in the dream sequence.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So I had to narrow it down to one. So I went with the one that I thought kind of was the best overall representation of the week. So it's going to go to Mr. Abe Carver, James Reynolds. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yes.
Anyone? Anyone? Orpheus? Really, people? Come on. This is a wedding in Salem. There's always an interruption. Can I get a motorcycle? A videotape? Something. James Reynolds.
Good
to
job.
put on the shelf next to your Emmy. You get...
Mark's Quote of the Week!
There you go.
I love it. And now it's time for...
We'll take this moment. Designer Days. Okay, so we're going to do this really quick. Miss Vanessa Williams, Valerie. Obviously a lot of options, but man, I'm loving this mini dress. It's a bell sleeve mini dress. Silk. I think it's a slip-on. She looks absolutely... I want this dress, and she rocked it, and thank you, Miss Vanessa.
And that has been...
The lead-in and intro and extra are longer than the segment.
Yes, exactly.
This week it is. But we got to play it all the way through at it.
Designer Days.
Oh my God, I love that so much. And now it's time for... Caption That.
Alrighty, so for this week's Caption That, it's the best table at the bachelorette party.
Seriously,
Valerie,
I wanna be
Kayla,
there.
and Eve. Probably talking to Jennifer in that picture from what it looks like. And Lala Southern Belle on Instagram wins caption of the week with watching that Susan chick sure beats painting a picture.
So true.
That's a good
And
one.
that was this week's caption that. Here we go.
You.
Caption there. All right, y'all.
All right.
Now it's time for
Edition Days Fan of the Week.
what happens
I
at
forgot
3
how
a.m.
ridiculous that sounds.
All right, so our fan of the week
What
goes
moron did that at 4 a.m?
Ridiculous.
I have no idea. We
Some moron.
haven't seen him in so long. Apparently, he's big time now at the Odyssey Theater. All right, so our fan of the week goes to Sherry on Twitter at SherryNY1978, who says, at Edition Days, at Lounging with Tony, at Tammy Govea, at MLMatis1, at Lorraine Love, at James Lott Jr. I just want to tell you that your show is absolutely amazing, and even though I rarely get to watch it live, as soon as I am done with watching Friday episode, I watch now what I call 6th Day of Days. Yes.
What's her name?
Sherry.
Sherry. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Sherry. That was great.
baby, Sherry.
Ooh, all right. And that has been
Edition Days Fan of the Week.
Woo! So ridiculous. Oh, I need a life.
And now it's time for
Oh, I was like, what else?
Okay, we're going to get through this really quickly. Fans of Days and Passions will be interested to know you'll have the chance to party with Eric Martzoff, Lindsay Hartley, Robert Scott Wilson, Jordi Villasuso, and Vincent Irizarry the weekend of September 29th and 30th in Boston, Massachusetts. For more information, visit StarstruckFanEvents.com. Another Starstruck fan event will be taking place October 20th and 21st in Alexandria, Virginia with Eric Martzoff, Paul Teffler, Cassie DePaiva, and Cassie's husband, James. For more information and ticket options and hotel info, go to starstruckfans.com.
Do we know Cassie's husband, James?
StarstruckFanEvents.com.
Who's Cassie's husband, James?
James DePaiva.
James DePaiva. He was on
GH now. Well, he was on Live to Live.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curious.
StarstruckFans.com or follow StarstruckFans2 on the Twitter.
So it's kind of like a merged event of different
Yeah.
soap people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's all the news and gossip. It was a dry week, but
Which is
yeah,
good.
I know, because we
so
had
much
a
to
lot
talk
of
We
great
had a lot to talk about with this wedding. Now,
And-
before we jet off, let's take a look at what's happening next week
She's
on
better.
Days of Our
She
Lives.
looks better.
She got the leaves out of her hair.
Pay for her life because of you.
I slept with a man that you love.
All you ever care about is
Slap her! Slap her! Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay.
Who was on the respirator? I couldn't-
Marlena.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she got shot. Oh.
Yeah, she did.
And somebody gets pushed out a window? Oh my gosh.
There's a lot
And let me
coming
tell
up.
you, people got pushed
oh
out
my
the window.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
Sammy gets slapped, which, I would
mean,
watch 10 times over.
Nothing would be, days wouldn't be days without a good Sammy slap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that has been your week
Oh
of
my
days. Until next week, Michael Mattis. Let
Yes.
everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at MLMattis and on Twitter at MLMattis1.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tammy Govea and Insta and Facebook, Tammy Govea Official.
And Mark J. Freeman, welcome back. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE,
And again,
Hello.
a big congratulations for Side by Side by Salem.
Thank you.
You did an amazing job, so
Thank
kudos
you.
to you.
Thank you. And
of
we're going to
course-
poison Mark Kaufman's drink so that maybe I can go on again.
I wouldn't doubt it. And ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Edition Days Facebook and Instagram and on Twitter _Edition Days, and you can find me at Lounging with Tony on all social media platforms. We will see you guys next week for another recap. Bye, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.